Welcome to the inaugural episode of the podcast that we haven't fucking chosen a name for yet. First order of business, we're just going to run through and introduce ourselves real quick. So I'm Patrick or Pat.
I'm Diego.
I'm Carson.
Joel here.
Hello.
And Trevor.
And we have some good stuff for you today. We're going to talk about possibly the worst president slash CEO slash dictator of a country ever in the whatever you want to call him of El Salvador. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the lies that we were told as kids by our parents. So let's go over to Joel, who's going to present on the president of El Salvador.
Thanks, Pat. This is a fascinating story. Nayib Bukele is the president of El Salvador. And the Bitcoin saga that they've been on has been truly fantastic. We're going to walk through the story here. It's not just a politics news story. You know how that is. It's really a story about the classic crypto bro downfall. And I personally love nothing more than seeing the downfall of the crypto bros. So, Pat, I don't know if I can truly agree with you that he is the worst head of state. Because this guy fucking rules.
Well, simultaneously, I can't think of a president slash dictator slash CEO to compete with him. I think he's probably the only one who's held those three titles. So by default, he's both the best and the worst.
Yeah, how about Hitler, man? He wasn't very good.
Yo, what about Genghis Khan?
Bro, neither of them were CEOs.
He was the
That's
CEO
right.
of the Mongol Empire.
It wasn't a corporation, though.
Yeah, did he have that in his Twitter bio? If it's not in your Twitter bio, it's not real life.
You think Genghis Khan ever had himself painted with laser eyes?
I mean, maybe. What if he had a Twitter though? What are you tweeting about?
Invading China. Invading Japan. I don't know.
Just over and over.
All right.
All the fucking times he
Off
piped.
topic, yeah.
So back to our modern day legend. This guy's name is Nayib Bukele, right? He is the president of El Salvador. So I figure you guys probably don't know that much about El Salvador. I mean, why would you? But it's a small Central American country. It's got a population of 6.8 million. So it's like the Indiana of Central America, right? Unlike Indiana, though, El Salvador's economy pre-Bitcoin shit was mostly reliant on people that migrated from El Salvador to the United States and then just shoved cash in an envelope and sent it home. So super reliant on remittance from the US. Which practice point, not, if you're planning a central economy here, not a good thing to rely on.
There's a lot of good sources for your GDP, but I don't think that's one.
Yeah, other than
that I would rely
Bitcoin, their entire economy is dependent on Western Union.
Yeah. Well, no. So you would think so, right? But almost all El Salvadorians, I guess El Salvadorians we'll call them, they don't have bank accounts. So it's
Can we
literally
just
cash
call
in
them-
an envelope.
Can we just call them El Savages?
Yeah.
I prefer it.
El Savage mode.
So they don't even have bank accounts that you could wire money to. So, presented with these two problems in that we don't really produce anything and most people don't have a
drugs though.
I don't think the government gets money from drugs.
No, I think they do.
I think in El Salvador they definitely do.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, El Chapo's running that shit.
So a lot of El Salvadorian, interesting, in the research here, a lot of El Salvadorian El Savages, the government, they are actually sanctioned from the United States because the government made an illegal deal with the gangs.
Wait,
so yeah,
how does the government break the laws? Isn't it their laws?
They're above the law.
I
for
think
part
it's
of America, the United States makes the laws.
I think it's like intergovernment monitoring. Like police officers breaking the laws will still arrest each other?
Ideally, they would.
I mean, you would think, but
Not if ACAB Emily has anything to say about it.
So yeah, I mean, look, this is like a recurring theme with Nayib Bukele. He's the president CEO, right? He is getting increasingly authoritarian. We'll get into that in a second, right? But so given these economic challenges that El Salvador has, which I feel like we pretty well established are bad, this guy is like the average crypto Twitter shit poster. He pretty much just came in, announced Bitcoin fixes this, had very little plan for how it would, and somehow, even with a bad plan, had worse execution.
So kind of like Elon Musk, if Elon Musk didn't have his business sense.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think one
Yeah.
thing that might be like semi-important to note is the president is pretty young as far as it goes. I think he's 40 or 41 now, and when he got into office, he was 37 or 38. So this isn't like some old guy trying to figure out cryptocurrency. This is someone who's in the know and who was a businessman before he started being a president. Granted, I think he had said he worked in HR or something with his car company, but still, he would have some
mean-
business knowledge.
I'm just gonna challenge that a little bit because I don't think anyone has any idea what the fuck is going on with Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, it's fake.
I mean, it kind of is. Ask Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, bro, just buy the dip. I'll be back.
That's right. Just keep
Okay,
buying
El
it.
Salvador.
Diego, oh, dude, I got an idea of where you could advise. Well, okay, so you know what? To your point, Carson, he really isn't that bad of a head of state, right? Like, okay, yeah, he's a dictator. Boo, right? But he started out as the mayor of a small El Salvador city for a while, and then he was the mayor of the capital city for like 3 years, right? And he got pretty decent results. One of the most notable ones is that I saw this here that the murder rate in El Salvador fell 50% in his first year in office. That's significant. Unfortunately, he definitely is fancying himself as a dictator. And I say this not only because he does authoritarian things, like he sends the military to encourage legislation. He actually wiped out a third of the judges in El Salvador, including the entire Supreme Court there, and replaced them with his buddies, which is, again,
I
not
mean,
good.
honestly though, if I rose to power, I'd probably put a few you boys in place. Like, I'm not really saying that it's good, but I can't really blame the guy.
But he did call himself the cool dictator.
I mean,
Did he
it's a
really?
pretty cool move. It's pretty cool.
I mean, if you were in power, I
Bro,
think
we
you'd
all
be
rising
pretty
together.
cool.
Imagine you get like what's that called when like the president makes a statement and my fucking TV shuts off and I have to listen? Like something to the state.
State of the
Well, yeah.
Union.
Union address.
If State of the Union would just be our fucking pod. That's it.
Yeah, just imagine like I was president and like there was a recession income. I'd be like, yo, don't worry, boys. My Secretary of the Treasury, Joel's on it. It's my boy.
We just print money. That's all we're gonna
Actually, he'd say, "Oh, sorry. Actually, it's the last 2 weeks of December. I already took these two off months
I'm
ago."
I'm on contractor furlough. So, okay, to your point, Carson, he did call himself the cool dictator. And not only did he call himself that, he tweeted about it multiple times. And he went so far as updating his Twitter bio, right? Which is truly a magical place. He started as El Presidente de El Salvador, changed it to CEO de El Salvador, and then added cool dictator.
Sounds like you're talking about Dave Portnoy. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's kind of what he did. He was El Presidente. Now he's CEO of Barstool.
He's cool dictator of Barstool.
Might be.
So this guy, right? So yeah, wild guy, the Dave Portnoy of Central America, Nayib Bukele, definitely bad. But this guy fucking rules. And I want to get into a couple of points about how much he rules, right? The whole Bitcoin saga starts in June of 2021. And like any good man engaged in a multi-level marketing scheme, this guy goes to a Bitcoin conference in Miami. And while he's there, announces that he's going to make El Salvador the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. So this conference is actually pretty interesting. It's really not that big of a deal in the whole grand scheme of things. It's just where he announces this. There are a lot of freaks there. Apparently, they let Ron Paul ramble on for like 45 minutes about Ron Paul garbage.
That's a sign of a good event right there.
Sounds like something that Diego might be interested in, like kind of like a gun show.
Ron Paul certainly did talk about guns in his 45. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. That was a layup for Ron Paul in his 45 minutes.
Did you listen to it? Not all
Bro,
of it, but
if I was put in the solitary confinement with nothing but a cassette tape of Ron Paul's 45-minute rambling at a Bitcoin conference in Miami, I would simply go without any
Wait,
stimulation for 30
Stare at the
years.
goddamn wall. Ron
What was
Paul
it?
stuff.
He's like in 90 years old. Like, what does he know about Bitcoin?
Nothing. He doesn't know anything. That's the point. He was still talking about how the Roosevelt administration, this I did see, this was specifically called out in the article. He was specifically talking about how the Roosevelt administration had stolen all of America's gold. You know, the Roosevelt administration when he was 40. Right? Like, yeah, he doesn't know anything about it. So potentially one of the most interesting parts about this conference is the lady who wrote the article I read about it. I don't know if it was supposed to be self-deprecating or not, but she kept pointing out how there were massive lines, like literally 100-foot lines at every men's room. Because she said, quote, eyeballing it, it appeared to be 95% men, which is less than I thought it was going to be.
Average crypto situation.
I feel like I kind of need a. Go ahead.
What were you saying? I was gonna say before we get too off topic from the crypto, you guys imagine how it would fucking smell in there?
Oh, dude, I
95% men who are into crypto. That's got to be
I'm just.
disgusting.
Do you think like having a girl who's into crypto would that be a turn on for you?
No,
No.
absolutely
No.
Okay, boys, she's a 10, but she's into crypto.
not. Fuck no.
2.
Still a 10, but she has no control over finances.
Crypto
Imagine
10s and
getting
everywhere
told-
else 6.
All
Imagine
that
you're
tells
too
me is
broke
I
for that.
can't trust your judgment about women. There's no way she could be a 10 and be into crypto.
cashed out in time though.
Well, here's my thing. In this hypothetical, she's a 10 into crypto. I don't think this person exists, so I don't know if it's really, I don't know if there's a fair comparison here. I feel like most of the crypto girls are, in the single digits, the low single digits.
Who are the crypto girls? And also, you just described 90% of women. Actually, I would say that.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like it's actually not 10. Like, there's not 10% of women that are 10.
When I said double digits, I kind of forgot
you
only.
pooched it.
I kind of forgot 10% of those numbers were double digits, so
You had the spirit.
I tried to save it with low single digits, but
It's actually only like 9% of the numbers because there are definitely women who are zeros.
I just googled crypto girls. There's a podcast called Crypto Girls Pod.
Jesus Christ.
Well, women are historically the best at multi-level marketing schemes, so I would imagine.
I swear to God, I thought Diego was about to say they look good.
Just put
Alright.
a couple tattoos on him or something, and Diego would probably be interested anyway.
Hair black.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of the group here, who's the most likely to fall for a multi-level marketing scheme? Definitely Diego.
No, Bilal.
I can see
Dude.
Atoll already has.
That's crazy. I feel like I might be vulnerable because I would be like, you know what? I could outsmart this and make some money out of it. But like, I mean, that's just how I am. But I'd probably get screwed. So I might throw myself in that conversation.
Well, to that point, though, Trevor, you're probably the most likely to run a multi-level marketing scheme of the group.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I need this in recording.
So yeah. I mean, getting back to the story, right? The conference was a gathering of the worst people you can imagine. There was this one interesting quote. I want to share this as well. According to one crypto exec who was involved in it, they said, and quote, "They told me we could have our name on the urinal cakes for $100,000." So this was, I mean, they were selling shit everywhere.
Wait, are they actually called cakes?
Yeah, like those little
Urinal
soap things in the
cakes?
urinals? Yeah.
Things, right?
Dude, I feel like I'm not trying to jump the gun on lies I was told as a child, but that kind of feels like one. Sounds like something I'd want to get a taste of.
Urinal cake.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's cake, right? You a fan of cake?
Salty for my liking.
I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Would you eat the urinal cake like fresh out of the packaging or like one that's been used?
I would use the one in the crypto girl's bathroom.
Okay.
Bro, would have never been used.
Why the fuck they're urinal the girls?
No, they were 5% girls.
So gathering of the worst people you can imagine. Bukele declares Bitcoin is going to be legal tender. Just about blows the roof off the Miami Conference Center. At the same time, the people in El Salvador were pretty pissed over this in general, which is a pretty good reaction, I would say. They had several months worth of protests that they did not want to become, like, they didn't want to get into the Bitcoin scam. So in response to this, Bukele changed his Twitter profile picture so that it would have laser eyes. And he updated his bio from El Presidente de El Salvador to CEO de El Salvador, which, if you ask me, is a pretty good sign to the nation. It's a pretty convincing sign to the nation that he is definitely a man who should be taken seriously, right?
Also, just to all of our non-Spanish speaking viewers, I wanted to clarify that Presidente is indeed Spanish for president.
Thank Christ. I wasn't sure.
Thank you.
What does L mean?
Honestly, though.
It is the masculine term for the.
It's also the seventh letter of the alphabet.
I mean,
is
if you
Salvador?
ask me, it kind of sounds like this dude's an absolute alpha.
Oh, this guy fucks. Like, not anything good, but like this guy fucks. He rules.
He gets the
He
crypto
probably
girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's where they're all at, dude. That is fucking CEO mansion.
There are
It's like
8
fucking-
total women in crypto, and he fucks all of them. So effectively, they protest. They're going to protest for a couple months, right? But this bill is raised the El Salvadorian Congress. The Congress doesn't really have a choice because this guy is the cool dictator, right? So it passes 3 days later, set to take effect in September. This is September of 2021. They had asked the World Bank for help in converting to Bitcoin. And, I don't know if you guys know this about the World Bank, but like, they love Central, South American, African countries when they ask for help. Like, the whole point of like the World Bank, the IMF, is to help countries like this that don't have real economies, but are part of the developing world. So El Salvador, a prime candidate for their help, says, "Hey, can you help us convert to Bitcoin?" The World Bank almost immediately responds, "There's no fucking way we're going to help you with this. Like, are you actually kidding me? No, we're not going to do that." Of course, they hide that in the guise of saying that it's due to transparency and environmental issues, but we all know what they mean. There was no fucking way that they were trying to get involved in a Ponzi scheme. So I think my favorite part of this whole legislation and really this whole story is the digital crypto wallet app that they roll out for the citizens of El Salvador. It's called Chivo. Chivo. Can my native Spanish speakers tell me which it is?
Chivo would be Spanish for goat, so I mean, if that fits the
Sorry.
Dude,
bill.
this
I
might
mean,
be the coolest fucking guy I've ever heard of.
thanks, dude. But I mean, I learned Spanish growing up, so it wasn't,
Dude.
too hard.
I'd like to correct
Yeah, I'm
you though.
talking
It'd be
about
Chibo.
He wasn't talking about you.
I'm talking about the fucking guy that released a wallet called Goat.
Well, no. So it wasn't supposed to be named Goat. So Chivo, it's slang in El Salvador for the word cool.
That's just as fucking dope, dude.
Goat, bro. That's goat.
That's Chivo.
So
Yeah, let's start that up. Let's just start calling shit Chivo.
No, we'll
Chivo
be the
shit.
Chivo
kinda
Hey,
podcast.
that's the name of the podcast. Name it Chivo.
Chivo.
Too bad I said it
Chivo.
first.
ChivoCast.
Chivo. How about just Chivo?
That'd be our first fucking inside joke, bro.
How about El Chivo?
Chivo gang. So the gimmick with this app Chivo, right? And like this is fantastic. I mean, the gimmick here is that it's supposed to come with $30 worth of Bitcoin. Now, fellas, am I the only one here that sees the irony that they get a United States dollar amount of their official currency to start with? Like, come on, that would be like, okay, the United States says we're going to adopt the yen, which of course will be ridiculous, right? But it's like, yeah, we're going to give you $50 worth, 50 United States dollars worth of the yen to start with. I mean, that's ridiculous. But yeah, so they get $30 worth of this to start with.
I don't want to
Was
jump the gun.
Chivo open for users outside of El Salvador?
So whoever voted on Diego to fall for the Ponzi scheme, you just won.
No, like maybe they're trying to get other people to use that wallet because they get
Wait, I don't.
a cut out of transactions, right?
I have a question that may have been addressed. What was the currency of El Salvador before?
It was the United States dollar.
All right,
They had
that's what I thought.
adopted.
I didn't want to assume,
Yeah, they adopted
Guys,
the dollar in 2001 because everybody just got money sent home from the US, so it was easier that way. And their complaint with that, right? The problem with that, that El Salvadorian nationalists, I guess, had been complaining about, is that it left them vulnerable to the actions of the Federal Reserve in the United States. And you know how the crypto freaks are. They're always screaming about my purchasing power. The Fed is just printing my purchasing power away. Really worried about inflation for a not the correct reason to be worried about inflation. So the crypto bros in El Salvador were worried about the same thing, except they couldn't even control their own inflation. Right. So yeah, it was the U.S. dollar.
Guys, I don't want to jump the gun on this conversation here, but can you imagine if this dude gave everybody $30 of Bitcoin and Bitcoin shot to the fucking moon? And
Jumping the gun pretty bad here is somebody who knows the end of the story.
I don't know any of this story, but can you imagine if El Salvador became like the richest country in the world and we just had a bunch of El
I was wrong,
Savages
but
running around?
The United
you're on
States
the
had to
complete
adopt.
wrong track.
The United States would have to adopt the El Salvadorian dollar at the end of the story.
Dude, it would be like a fucking giant frat. You'd have a bunch of crypto bros running a country, and they'd be led by the CEO, El Presidente. Kind of
El
sounds like
Salvador and get jobs and send money back to our parents.
Well, that would be great, right? But because this guy is an actual cool dictator now, this podcast would be illegal to record there, and we'd almost certainly be arrested for it, even just talking about this shit.
Nah, bro, it's worth it. I'd be
We'd be-
rolling it.
We'd be bros with that guy. We wouldn't even in that scenario.
I mean, I own crypto, so I'd be his crypto bro.
Yeah, I have like $8 of Bitcoin. So if that shit ever shoots back up, I'm gonna be rich as shit.
Be a top advisor. Most sane El Salvadorian.
I might be able to like go to Five Guys and get a burger or something.
Damn. Burger and fries?
maybe even a
those
drink.
prices are fucking expensive.
Not at Five Guys.
Their fries
The
are
world
$2.
I live
This is
in,
pretty expensive.
Yeah, I'm
I
saying you
live
couldn't
in
get
a-
them both at Five Guys.
probably be 5
Oh,
Chicos
those
in
is-
this new universe. Or Cinco guys.
Cinco Chicos.
Just take it out of my Chivo, bro.
Yo,
So this-
okay, that's
look, so-
actually I don't want to cut you off, but like that would actually be a cool name for a restaurant, Cinco Hombres. So
It
like,
probably
you know,
is a thing.
if the
Yeah,
cast
how
doesn't
about-
work out, that's what I'm rolling
Have you
with.
guys ever seen Breaking Bad? I think they already kind of took it.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah, they already got the brothers in there.
Isn't that the Chicken Brothers?
Yeah. Or the Brothers Chicken.
Yeah, but I feel like if you got 5 guys and Chicken Brothers, you can't really jump in there with. Dude, it's. You know what? I take it all back. You literally just said 5 guys in Spanish.
Yeah.
You can't just take that. You can't just. I think there's got to be some type of copyright infringement there.
It's not, bro.
Restaurant god.
If there's not, we might just
that's
unlock the fucking secret to wealthiness because like we just like found a company and name it like Manzana for Apple or something, and people think we're selling iPhones.
Art Daywall.
Dude, I think you have to be more gullible than the dude that's falling for the Ponzi scheme to think that what you just said Manzana is selling real iPhones.
I mean, there's people out there who, you know,
Dude, no one
I
even
mean,
knows what that
it's
word
vehicle.
fucking means.
Well, they obviously would in South America.
No, I think they call it Apple still. I don't
we'll
think
sell
they
this shit
call
in
it
El
this.
Salvador. They can buy it with their bitcoins.
You think
Apple.
You think Apple's called Manzana in other countries?
It is.
Yeah. No, I don't
No
think so.
way. I think
It's
it's
not
called
Apple.
Apple.
Oh! I thought you were talking about the fruit. I was like, what the fuck are you
No, I'm
talking
talking
about?
about
Like, of course the fruit's called that.
A
I'm
fruit's
gonna
not going to sell me an iPhone.
I'm gonna
It's
send a
okay.
text and try to
It
find out.
All right. Well, why are you doing? So
I can assure you, it's called Apple.
Okay, thanks. Now I feel much better.
So this app, fellas, the Chivo app, right? You're supposed to get $30 with it, worth of Bitcoin. So people start downloading this app, right? And it's a disaster. This is fantastic. There's 3 scenarios, effectively. Scenario number 1, people are logging in and they find out that this Chivo app simply is unusable. The performance is terrible. It just doesn't work. They can't access their money. They can't log in. Scenario 2, they log in. They've already had their identity stolen and they've lost their $30, as well as having their identity stolen, right? So the $30, at least they're worried. Or scenario 3 is that they log in, find that they haven't yet had their identity and their $30 stolen, cash it out into United States dollars, and immediately delete the app. There was a study done by a group of economists at the University of it was like a joint group from the University of Chicago, Penn State, represent fellows, and Yale. They studied this
Breaking
thing.
news. It is Apple, not
Thanks,
Manzana.
Matt.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks. That was the perfect time to interject.
Breaking news. You know.
Thanks, dude. So these economists, they study this thing. And it turns out that like the vast majority of people who sign in just cash it out immediately, delete it, never use it again. I actually read the whole
Wow.
study. It was a fascinating study. I just want to read to you guys the one quote from it. It said, and again, I quote, "There is no experiment we've seen where a currency was introduced with such strong incentives and yet still failed."
That's fuck. I mean, like you wouldn't think currency would even need an incentive. Like it's like you buy shit, bro. What the hell do you need an incentive for? Like, am I just misunderstanding that, or it's like
Well, they
like
literally
you
got
know
$30
the
free.
incentive to going to work and getting the dollar is so I can like pay my rent and shit. You know, that's the incentive. So I don't.
It's like going to work and declining your paycheck because it's not worth anything.
Oh, word. Okay.
So disaster. I mean, right? Disaster class right here. And it's going to get even worse, right? The national economy hasn't even been fucked up yet. This is just like regular people having their identity stolen. So the bill passes in September of 21. Bukele announces on Twitter that El Salvador bought 400 bitcoins at 60. I think it was like 63,000. An average price of $63,000. They executed this transaction on September 6th of 2021, right? At that price. Literally the next day, like September 7th, Bitcoin fell to $43,000. Just straight off the bat, not even 24 hours into this thing, they lost 33% of the value of their investment.
Now, when was this? Like you know, I know it's the next day, but like, what was the date roughly?
The bill went into play September 6th, 2021. This was September 7th, 2021 that the fall happened.
All right, so not that
So-
long ago, like 9 months.
Could I be a dick for a second?
Yo,
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when you're on Snapchat and you see one of those stories and it's like you'll never guess what they found in this cellar, and then you click it and you have to like fucking scroll to the bottom and hit next like 47 times to see what's in the cellar. That's kind of what this story feels like.
What do you want me to tell you the ending right now?
Yes, I kind of do. Or at least
seems in the
quickly.
goddamn cellar.
Okay, we're still gonna go through the middle pieces, but they lose $56 million and they're almost certain to default on their sovereign debt payment due in January.
Also,
See, that's the
everyone either
punchline.
just spent the $30 or didn't use it, or it got corrupted
Yeah.
and never used the app again.
So you're telling me there's not even one crypto bro out there that hit it big?
Well, no, because crypto they bought. Bro, let me walk you through this, but they bought most of these crypto bitcoins between $45,000 and $60,000 per coin. Like today, Bitcoin is worth $20,000.
Okay, so
Now
saying
it's
this as a man
wow.
who has about zero economic or El Salvadorian knowledge, couldn't giving everybody $30 in El Salvador of Bitcoin wouldn't that like fuck up the economy? Like of Bitcoin? Am I thinking about this wrong? Like, to me, it sounds like they're
It's like
printing money. Like, wouldn't it
It's like
just cause
100.
Bitcoin inflation?
I mean, it's like
All
what,
the
180 million or something like that? It's
El
not that
Salvador
much money.
population.
Isn't it
They-
like, didn't you say like 6.4 million?
Did the price of crypto
6.486 million.
go
So, yeah,
up
it's
right
like-
after their purchase?
It's like whatever,
then-
190 million.
No, the price of crypto didn't go up. To Diego's question, the price of crypto did not go up. It fell by 33% the next day.
Did it go up a little and then it went down because people sold or whatever?
Well, that's why it goes down. You hit that nail on
Yeah.
the top of the head.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
You know, I also have no economic knowledge, but like when somebody gets poor, doesn't somebody else usually get rich? Like, who the fuck gets rich in Bitcoin when someone else gets poor?
Well, the
Haley,
government-
man.
The government got poor while the people cashed this out. They lost $56 million.
So who the fuck made money? Someone had to have made money.
Crypto
All the-
bros around the world.
Yeah.
The
Warren
Bitcoin
Buffett.
miners.
Just kidding. But dude, Bitcoin miners is unrelated to the price of Bitcoin. Come on.
I don't know if I'd say
I did
unrelated.
specify I had no economic sense, and
Well,
well, you know what?
lightly
I guess
related.
Bitcoin and economic sense don't really go together because
Isn't Bitcoin
crypto.
designed to be like harder to mine the more coins that are out there? You know,
I don't know
that's
if I can-
honestly
It's supposed to be
way,
like, it's
way
safe
beyond the scope of
difficulty.
this.
You know, boys, I know this is
Bitcoin.
episode 1, but I think we just lost our crypto.com's potential sponsorship.
Well,
I
they're going to
think
be out
this
of
episode
business.
fucking tanked it.
They're going to be out
Damn,
of
I guess I'll
business
never
by the
get.
time anybody's interested in this podcast, anyways.
Also,
Bro,
El
that's one more
Salvador probably won't
convenient.
sponsor us.
Isn't there a
One
crypto
favorite
arena?
Yeah, they renamed the Staples Center to Crypto.com Arena.
So rip the fucking Staples Center, I guess.
I don't know anybody who actually calls it the Crypto.com Arena. Everybody still calls it the Staples Center.
I mean, have you ever watched a game? Because they definitely call it the Crypto Center.
Well, you know what? I was talking about the common man, you know.
Oh. All right, let's get on with this story. I'm eager.
Yeah. So it's important to call out the fact that this guy has been just goofing on Twitter the whole time, too. I'd like to read you guys some of Bukele's tweets, the official president of El Salvador account. They're hilarious. I don't. Have you guys ever seen those TikToks in which it's a guy looking at a clearly fake stock chart and like jumping around like he just won the lottery? The caption is always something stupid like, "These guys make more than a doctor just by copying my trades." You guys ever seen those?
I personally have not.
No.
So, well, this is how that guy acts on Twitter. Look them up; they're a lot of fun. But so on October 23rd, for instance, he tweeted a quote: "Should we buy the dip, or is it too small? Come on, guys, we need a better discount here." So this may potentially be the first time in human history that a head of state is rooting for their currency to be worth less.
Now, did he specify what kind of dip it was?
Yes. Well, he didn't specify it in there, but I looked it up actually. So on that day, the dip that he was talking about, Bitcoin had fallen from 66,000 per coin to 60,000.
You know,
Just got, like,
honestly,
mint dip,
I-
but
I think he was talking
Kinda-
about long cut wintergreen.
yeah.
the ultimate troll would have been like if he was talking about fucking crab dip in that tweet.
He's
Like he was referring to crab prices in El Salvador or something.
What the fuck is crab tip?
It's like melted cheese and crab, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's
So kind of
good
like
as fuck.
buffalo chicken dip, but crab.
But with no buffalo or chicken.
Why? Why is whatever? Whatever.
No, I know what Diego's saying. It's kind of like the consistency. I looked
almost
up a recipe.
experienced-
It has crab meat, Old Bay, salt, green onion, garlic, sour cream, mayo, cream cheese, hot sauce, and cheese.
Sounds
I almost
fire,
experienced
honestly.
buffalo chick dip at the Super Bowl.
It sounds like
But
something
I'm
one
still
of our
kinda in the
roommates
dark on
would have
that.
just eaten.
Yeah, I'm not ever bringing up my buffalo chicken dip again. That's that was a sad day for everybody.
That's a story for a later episode.
I
Yeah,
actually got some of that. I got a single chip of that.
I got it while I was fucking making it.
Yeah, it was good as fuck. I'll give you that.
All you need to know,
You know
dear
what?
listener, is that there was buffalo chick dip at our Super Bowl party, but only for about 45 seconds.
Dude, one time like somebody brought buffalo chicken dip to my place. I think it was actually for the Super Bowl, and they forgot they made 2 pans of it, and they like left one in the to keep it warm. And everybody goes home. I'm visibly intoxicated, and I discovered a pan of cold buffalo chicken dip in the oven. I ham on this
That shit
shit.
probably hit different though.
Dude,
Yeah.
I ate the whole fucking thing, saved some for breakfast, threw it in my eggs. Delicious.
I never would have thought about it on eggs, but it actually sounds kind of solid.
I honestly put anything in eggs though.
That would be good.
And throwing
All
random shit in the eggs, and it's really good. What were you saying?
All right, let's throw a
So,
quick
yeah.
bow on the El Salvador story.
Yeah. So the best
We're way
tweet
too
that
off topic. We're talking about fucking dip.
hey, you want to buy it. That's the goal. But so I want to share with you guys my personal favorite tweet from this guy, right? So on December 4th, he tweets, quote, El Salvador bought the dip, 150 coins at an average price of 48K. He then adds that, quote, he missed the fucking bottom by 7 minutes. So,
You know, your government's solid when the fucking president's tweeting fuck.
honestly,
He's not even censoring that a little bit.
the U.S. would. I think you did. I think you put dashes in for like the UC, but yeah, I think the U.S. government will be better off if Joe Biden just got on the Twitter and was like, you know what, fuck you guys.
Yo, what the fuck are you doing, Russia? Fucking pull up.
So
Please
to
don't
Actually,
that,
bomb
please
that
don't.
store.
This dude definitely wears black Air Forces.
fights random people he finds outside of the bar. Just random homeless people. So to that tweet, the miss the fucking bottom by 7 minutes. A random like crypto account quote tweets it and says, "Do you guys think he just trades for the country on his laptop?" To which Bukele responds again on his official government account. He quote tweets that and says, "Phone." He would then go on to specify that not only does he trade the the country's currency on his phone, he frequently does it while he's like taking a shit.
Sounds like me on the show market trying to flip some cards.
I'm trying to flip for a few more stubs, boy. So obviously, if the head of state of your country is trading Bitcoin on his phone while he's taking his daily shit, there's going to be trouble in paradise. Obviously, it didn't work out, right? So Bitcoin crashed a few weeks back. We're at like $20,000 a coin now. They bought most of it between 45 and 60. They've lost $56 million. The main issue is that they owe $800 million in a debt service payment in January. And this is just to finance like the basic function of their government. The International Monetary Fund says right now that it's like 50-50 to default on it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that they're absolutely going to default on it. The Standards and Poor, who rates debt, S&P downgraded their debt to a triple C. Obviously, the highest is a triple A. Which I think is a pretty generous rating because almost everybody sees them as just garbage bonds. And for added context to that, Ukraine is going to lose half of its GDP this year due to its ongoing war with Russia. And Ukraine's national debt is rated higher than that of El Salvador, whose true sin is just adopting Bitcoin in the worst way possible.
I mean, the president of Ukraine kind of fucks too, if social media serves me correctly.
Yeah, Zelensky fucks in like a cool way though, not in like a this guy does not care way.
Yo, but honestly, I kind of thought of this earlier when you were talking about like how Twitter is overused or maybe used the correct amount now. Like, did you see that shit when they posted? It was Ukraine. They posted like the ghost of Kiev. They posted basically a hype video for him and shit. Like, I really hope that's what the world is trending towards.
War propaganda has gone online. War propaganda is now shared in shitposts.
It's now cool on Twitter.
I think Ukraine also put a meme on their Twitter that was like the different kinds of headaches, and the one with the whole head was living next to Russia.
It's fucking awesome.
To that point about Twitter, I was going to skip over this point, but we got to circle back to it. Bukele was good friends with Donald Trump. Apparently, he was quoted as saying that Donald Trump was nice and cool. He would also add that meaning Bukele, I'm nice and cool too, and that we both use Twitter a lot, so we'll probably get along.
I love that he sounds like some dude in middle school trying to like flirt with a girl.
Dude,
Like, you know, I'm nice and cool. You're nice and cool. You see where I'm going with this?
We
I kind
both
of feel
use
like
Twitter.
along this same line of logic, I feel like my little brother would be really good friends with both the president of the United States and the crypto genius known as CEO.
Go, Brandon.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. No political views on what are we calling this? The Chivo?
Chivo.
The
ChivoCast.
podcast that must not be named.
That's just what people call him.
I mean, perhaps.
So to underscore,
Keep politics out of my podcast.
yeah. So to underscore, just to wrap this up, I want to underscore the absolute precarious position El Salvador is in right now. It's really a shame. People have their whole life savings wiped out by this. But economists are theorizing right now that the goal behind the Bitcoin switch was to use the Bitcoin community as a lender of last resort. Typically, like I was saying before, these countries would use the International Monetary Fund or the World Bank as the lender of last resort. Our country has no economy, but ideally, I guess we'd like to grow one. Please give us money. They will rubber stamp that for the most part. But they couldn't even get a loan from those guys. So they're effectively at the point of literally no one else will loan us money on the entire planet, but I bet you we could rip off some crypto morons. And I'll tell you what, before the crash of crypto, it had worked. So crypto did crash, as we said, and Bukele's most recent tweet on the topic came on June 18th, where he said, and I quote, "I see that some people are worried or anxious about the price of Bitcoin in the market. My advice, stop looking at the graph and enjoy life. If they invested in Bitcoin, their investment is safe, and its value will grow tremendously after the bear market. Patience is the key." Now, I'll tell you what, fellas, I'm no fiduciary, but in my unprofessional opinion, that is not good advice.
You can't really fuck up your country's economy and just be like, yo, guys, just ride it out. We got it.
I present you with a question. Why not?
Yep. Why, they don't have any other choice at this point.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a dick move to say, you know?
What would you say, Mr. CEO? Or what's the CEO in Spanish?
CEO.
Salvador.
Fucking, I'd probably bro out. I don't know. I'd be out of El Salvador, that's for sure.
I fucking dip.
I don't think they have a choice. They gotta stay.
Fuck buying the dip. I'm dipping on this whole fucking country.
Bro, I'm dipping. I'm getting some fucking crab dip.
Tell you what, fellas, with all this shit going on down there, I would not be surprised that if next year this time, June 29th, 2023, we were looking at a different president of El Salvador, a different CEO of El Salvador.
Yeah, it sounds like this motherfucker's gonna be dead.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna wrap this whole thing up. I'll wrap this whole segment up. I just want to read you guys one more quote to leave us off with tonight. This was by Michael on Paulberg, and he was the guy who wrote the article that I did a lot of this research on. It was a fantastic read. But he said, quote, "Bukele would either be the world's first head of state to run a multi-level marketing scam or the first to fall for one. Now it appears that he is both." What a fucking legend. Nayib Bukele.
I can't imagine nobody's ever fallen for a multi-level marketing scheme as a leader of a country.
Well, not that they drug the whole country into.
There has to be one that was fucking dumb enough to do something like that.
What's it going to be? A Tupperware republic?
Let me just put it out there again. What if this fucker was right and he made the whole country rich as fuck?
We'll officially be switching our GDP main production to selling knives. Really sharp knives. These motherfuckers will cut through anything.
Our P90X economy.
If everybody just sells 3 coupon books, we can all go on the field trip next summer.
Everybody can have healthcare if you sell 3 coupon books.
You can go on the field trip, or you can have healthcare.
All I gotta say, that's the story, right? All I gotta say personally is, when El Salvador does default on their debt, I want every fucking dollar I paid in federal income tax this year to go towards their bailout. This guy rules. He does not give a fuck. And he probably won't be alive for the bailout, but I want every dollar I paid to the United States government to go to bailing out El Salvador. They are fantastic in this story.
Also, for what it's worth, our PR guy reached out to El Salvador, but Bukele was not available to appear for an interview on today's episode.
Yeah, he was booked on the Joe Rogan Experience tonight. That's all I got, guys.
Let's turn it over to Trevor. Trevor's got some stuff for us, I hear.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it some stuff, but honestly, I kind of want to start this out by opening it up to you guys. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about lies our parents told us. Originally, I thought, it's a great idea to just look up some lies, like, go through Reddit, see what kind of lies people's parents were talking. But then I realized some people have really fucked up parents. So I'm kind of curious, like, what kind of lies you guys were told. Because beyond, like, the holidays, I can't really think of many fucked up lies that I was told as a child.
I have a pretty good one that's actually related to the holidays, I feel like. So I don't know if you guys were ever a kid and you were, bad around Christmas time and your parents threatened you and said, oh, well, fucking Santa Claus might not show up, right? My dad took that and went a little far with it. He informed me that Santa Claus would not be coming to our house because he, quote, shot him out of the sky. So fucking, I remember crying pretty bad when he told me that because I thought Christmas was never going to happen.
Yeah, so, I mean, I actually read this, it was on Reddit, but it was pretty similar. Not that bad, but somebody told me that their parents told them on Christmas they got nothing. And their parents told them that they got a letter from Santa that said that he didn't care about them as people or something like that. So they got them no gifts, and they were like, but don't worry, because Santa wouldn't do it, we're going to buy your gifts for you. In reality, they were just waiting for their next paycheck. So they told them that Santa didn't give a fuck about them, and they went and bought all the gifts for the kids. And their parents told them at a later date that it worked out perfectly because they still got their gifts and they got to be the good guys instead of giving that no good Santa Claus all of the credit.
I mean, I feel like there's a better way to do that. Just, Santa sent me a letter. He's going to show up a little late. Not, Santa fucking wanted me to let you know he's degrading you as a human and you were fucking dirt to him.
Yeah, but dude, like,
my parents had given me gifts as a kid so I could have a story like this.
But like, is that not crazy to you? Like that those parents were so selfish that they couldn't just give this little Christmas magic. They couldn't let their kids have that. They had to be the heroes and be the ones delivering the gift themselves.
I mean, one thing like my parents did that I always thought was like a little weird growing up, but now like being grown, I understand it better. I don't know like what you guys' ratio of gifts from your parents to gifts from Santa were, but all my gifts were from my parents, and then there was always one for me and my brother, like one each from Santa. And I always thought that was weird because a lot of people told me they always got all their presents from Santa, but my mom explained that she heard it was good to give just one from Santa. That way, when kids are talking about what the hell Santa bought them, when they get back to school and everything, nobody's like, they don't think Santa's playing favorites out here, So it's like he only got me one thing. And it wasn't like a huge. He gave me like a fucking Xbox or anything,
I kind of respect that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you said like, Santa got me, an Xbox and 7 games, and some motherfucker was like, oh, Santa got me a sweater, that kid's probably gonna feel like shit.
So I do have one, but my parents actually did kind of the opposite. Where with the Santa thing, they told me there was no Santa pretty early on, and I fucked it up for all my other friends. And I just told everyone else that there was no Santa.
How early was this?
My parents told me when I was 10.
I want to say like 2nd or 3rd grade.
That's pretty early.
I feel
but like
10 is a good age, like 4th or 5th grade.
How did your parents tell you though? Because like I remember I was like in the car with my dad, and he's like, we had just left like the YMCA, and they had one of those, what do they call it, the giving tree. They had those boxes out, and like we get to the car, and he's like, you know how I took pictures of those boxes to see what the kids need from the giving tree? I was like, yeah. He was like, "Do you know why they have that?" And I was like, "Because some families aren't as fortunate." And he's like, "So do you know why Santa doesn't give them the gifts that they want?" And I was like, "I mean, I don't know, but I don't." And he goes, "Is it because he's not real, dude?" I was
I
like,
think I just
"Damn,
a-
bro."
I think I just
Like
asked
I
my
felt
mom
kind of
one day. She's
stupid
like,
right then. Like he literally gave me the chance to be right, and I was still too dumb to realize the punchline.
I think I just asked my mom, and she was like, I mean, I guess you're old enough. Don't tell your brother,
Right.
but
None of you want
nah.
to share your Santa stories. I'm gonna get into some lies, but I'm not
His
gonna tell
advanced
you.
intelligence just told his mom, "Yo, mom, just so you know, Santa's fake, dude."
No,
I know
man, I
you
was just
know,
like,
Pat. No, I don't want to hear it, dude. I know.
bro, I
Alright,
don't have a fucking superiority
about
complex.
if we're speaking about intelligence, my parents told me Santa was fake, but didn't tell me the Easter Bunny wasn't fake. So I went on to believe that the
Fucking
Easter Bunny
idiot.
was real and Santa was fake until like almost middle school.
Your mid
Dude,
20s.
it's the best part of that is that it might be more realistic that a fat guy flies through the sky than a giant rabbit jumps to every house in the world in one night.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I guess you guys had chimneys, but in Florida we didn't have chimneys. So the whole Santa thing was like, yeah, he went in chimneys for everyone in the north, except for us. He just broke in our front door to leave gifts under the tree.
Bridge, Florida
Diego,
man.
Diego,
Trevor
you're
made a
pretty
good point.
quiet. Did you know that Santa wasn't real before we said it?
Yeah.
Diego's definitely gonna tell us the same fake story, but one up Pat on the I sat my parents down
Nah,
and
bro, we
I
just
No,
burst
told
this
them
motherfucker. We just
I
burst
want
this
to hear.
motherfucker's bubble.
I want to hear
I
what
sat my
good.
parents down. I told them Santa is not real. Diego told his parents that Santa wasn't real.
Can I hear
No.
what I had a good
Diego
point
actually
about
never
first?
believed in him.
Before bully Diego, can I at least hear what I had a good opinion about?
No.
Yo,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does the Easter Bunny get around?
motherfucker
He just
hops. What do you
fucking.
mean?
He hops, dude. That
You
was
ever
a
s-
dumb
Bro,
question.
he's like a life size, like a not life size, like a giant fucking bunny, man. He's got to have some quads.
Does he like jump across the Atlantic?
I don't fucking know.
Maybe he walks on water.
Dude,
He
he
likes
Is
to
the
can
go
even
Easter
click.
swimming
bunny?
anyway.
Is
Is
the
the
Easter
Easter
bunny
Bunny
even a
Jesus?
thing outside of the U.S.? Is that just a
Yeah,
U.S.
it's
thing?
Christian, dude.
Well, is it like all Christians?
I don't know, dude. People
Yeah.
overseas barely get food, much less fucking gifts on Easter. I'm not too worried about it.
No, it's all Christians.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know
Anybody
if I was like
else?
What is
because
the
the
what
Easter
is the
bunny.
bunny in the Bible, dude? It's not all
I'm saying
Christians.
the Easter bunny is fucking commercialization. Easter. It's not Easter.
But Easter Bunny
Easter Bunny
comes
helped
on like
Jesus carry
the
his
day Jesus
cross.
died.
Easter bunny was actually crucified.
Did anybody
Jesus
else
is
used to?
fake. Easter bunny is real.
Did anyone else used to use that app on? It was called NORAD Track
Yeah, the
Santa.
NORAD tracker. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was so fucking cool.
Did you guys see
Story I
on the?
told.
Did you guys
Good.
see that the NORAD tracker, like the live stream of it, where Joe Biden was on, and they were taking
No.
calls from people,
Oh yeah, I know what you're
and
gonna say.
this guy, some guy calls in, talks to Joe Biden, like has a whole like regular conversation, and then Joe Biden says like, okay, like thanks for calling in. The guy says, yeah, let's go, Brandon. And this was on live TV, right? And Joe Biden just goes, legend right here. We're talking about Nayib Bukele being a fucking legend. Fucking legend Joe Biden goes, yeah, let's go, Brandon. And it's like, yeah, let's go, Brandon. Anyways, where you from? You said you're from Oregon? Like, dude just said, let's go, Brandon. Moved right along. He didn't give a fuck.
What a that's goat move right there. That's a Chivo move.
Chivo energy.
Biden. Look,
Yeah, I want to go back to the
she
story
was
I
my
told
grandfather.
where my dad told me he shot fucking Santa out of the sky. We were looking at that NORAD tracker, and I just looked at him. I was like, "So you lied to me about that? Like he's still up there flying around?" And he was like,
Sat his dad down and said, Father, in my advanced intelligence, I see that he is still on the NORAD.
Well, nah, what he told me
He's
was like,
flying over Ethiopia right now, Dad. You can hit a
he was
shot
like,
from here to
bro, I didn't.
Ethiopia.
He's like, bro, I didn't kill him. I just shot him out of the sky. His fucking sleigh exploded. I was like, oh, all right.
He fucking 360 no scoped that motherfucker.
You trick shotted him.
All right, do you
Why
guys want
is
to?
Vince Nicholas still on the map?
Yeah, it's really turned into the fucking Santa segment.
I found like this is a little different than like the lies that I originally thought. I actually found this list. It's a BuzzFeed list, and it says lies you were told and still believed. And there's a few of them that I still think it's BuzzFeed bullshitting me. Like number one says sugar doesn't actually make you hyperactive.
True. That is true. It's just kids like always have a ton of sugar at like birthday parties and other fun things, and they're just psyched out about other things.
So what's a sugar
It's like
crash then?
you're tired after exerting all of your energy at other fun things.
Oh my, that's such bullshit.
Dude, it's the same thing like parents would tell you like, I don't know, other shit about junk food, like I don't know, I can't think of an example right now, but they would tell you
Shit
like
yourself
junk
feed
food.
too
No,
much.
I know this
Yeah,
isn't
and then
junk
so you
food. Yeah.
wouldn't eat junk food. That was the point of it. Go ahead, Carson.
I was gonna say I know this isn't junk food, but I know like people said carrots make you have better eyesight.
Dude,
I'm
one of the things that that's
Hold up,
on
I'm
this
pretty-
list.
That was a
It
lie by
says-
Big. That was a lie by
No,
Big
dude.
Carrot.
No,
There's a lie on here that says that carrots will let you see in the dark. Who the fuck was believing that?
Hold
That
up.
was the Easter Bunny on.
Do carrots not make your eyesight better? Hold up. Maybe
No,
I'm,
dude,
no,
dude,
maybe I'm
telling you.
still on this bullshit.
I've heard this before. It's a lie by Big Carrot. Like they're just trying to sell carrots, literally.
I just
have you ever
started
heard-
I just started to Google do carrots, and the first suggestion was do carrots make you poop?
Doesn't
no.
everything?
No, fuck you guys. It says, do carrots actually improve eyesight? Yes and no. Carrots won't improve your visual acuity if you have less than perfect vision. A diet of
Yo.
carrots won't give a blind person 20/20 vision, but the vitamins found in the vegetable will help promote overall eye health. Fuck you guys. It was not
That
a
sounds
lie.
fake.
Bro, that's like saying getting vitamin C will make it so you don't get a cold. I mean, I guess it might help a little, or not even. I think I heard that shit was not true as well.
You
The
guys
idea that it
not-
might is due to a myth begun by the Air Ministry in World War II to prevent the Germans finding out that Britain was using radar to intercept bombers on night raids. They issued press releases stating that British pilots were eating lots of carrots to give them exceptional night vision. This fooled the British public as well as the
Guys.
German high command.
Guys, there's absolutely no way I'm not going to believe this website. www.buymorecarrots.com. They know what they're talking about.
Bro, Big Carrot is just they're pumping these lies into us and they eat more carrots.
www.carrots.com knows what they're talking about.
You guys low key.
Those lies. Oh no, you go, Trevor.
I was gonna say you guys kind of fucked my list because like 4 of the things on here are like what you already talked about. Like this one says vitamin C doesn't actually prevent colds, and then like another one of them was like turkey doesn't really make you sleepy. All foods make you sleepy, but you eat way too much fucking food on Thanksgiving.
No, turkey has to, bro. That's just like
Yeah, I disagree.
that
No,
shit's like
dude.
medicine.
It says
no, he's right.
no. It's tryptophan.
Bro,
It says that chicken and beef has the same amount of tryptophan as turkey, but you
Bro,
just
I've
eat.
had-
I've
You
had
just
turkey
eat a
that works
shit
fucking better
ton.
than NyQuil, bro. Like
You
that
just
shit's
eat
out
so
of
much
food.
That one I'm
That's
not
just
believing. I'm putting the debunked tag on that.
All right, then how about I pull up some of these bullshit ones that I can't believe anyone ever believed.
All right, tell us about
That
it.
is about it's about to sit
Someone-
down the CEO of BuzzFeed and tell him in his superior intelligence, turkey does make you.
Were you ever told that touching a frog would give you warts?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it wasn't
No.
a frog; it
I
was
was
a
told-
toad. It was a
Yeah, I was
toad.
gonna say I was told toads, not frogs.
Dude, what are your fucking parents on?
Bro, that's
How
because
did you believe that?
they're all rough and shit. I don't know. They got warty exteriors.
Oh my god. All right.
Frogs are
How about this
disgusting.
one? This one I don't believe. It says dropping a penny from the Empire State Building wouldn't even come close to killing anyone.
Dude, excuse me for not having a concept of terminal velocity when I was 5. I'm sorry. That sounded plausible.
All right.
It
Well,
still
hold on
sounds,
here.
dude. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, and I still don't believe that it wouldn't kill someone.
Well, hold on. Like, what I don't understand is, oh no, what I do understand is like, how does it have force? Like, isn't
It has
force?
mass and acceleration, you
But if it's a
moron.
terminal velocity, doesn't it have no acceleration?
It has
That's
momentum.
inverse
It has momentum, dude. Come on.
Well, what's that? M1 V1 equals M2. I don't see acceleration in there.
Yeah, so the fucking skin on your head has to accelerate or has to produce enough velocity to respond to the penny hitting your head.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
in my mind, it should go through your head. But apparently, the Mythbusters proved it wasn't wrong. It wasn't right. My bad.
Should we do like a fucking Chivo study on it?
A Chivo study.
Use what little funding we have to go to New York, like drop a penny onto LOL.
We need the experts involved.
We'll just get him to drop the penny.
All right, this one also kind of hurt me to hear, but in Australia, toilets don't flush the other way because they're on the other side of the planet. It's just because they're designed that way.
Okay, yes. To this point, I was hanging out with one of the exchange students who went to my high school, like maybe 6 weeks ago, and I asked him the same question. He had one of his buddies from Chile, or the guy was from Chile. He had one of his buddies send a video of one of their toilets from back home. And it turns out Chile's toilets don't flush either direction. They just don't look anything. They don't flush anything like U.S. toilets. They flush like the toilets at
Like an
Target.
airplane?
It's like
Like an
it's
airplane.
like
It just
mass.
goes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Do
let me see
all
if there's any
toilets
other.
in America spin the same way?
I mean, you could design them not to. Like, I actually have you guys
But
ever
like,
seen that
is it
dude on
like
Instagram that's like rich versus super rich guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the rich guy is just like actually nice to people, while the super rich guy is just like actually nice to people, while the super rich guy is just like a dick for no reason. That guy.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
He has one video where the plumber's over and he's like, "Oh, hey, I left your the counter. By the way, could you make my toilet flush the other way to mess with my son? It gets him every time."
Like, I just
Meanwhile, the rich guy was probably like, "Oh, hey, you're the plumber. I need to, fucking beat you with your own wrench."
All right. Some of these are like this one feels like a cop out to me. It says water does not conduct electricity. Pure water is non-conductive, but substances in water, salt for example, makes it extremely conductive. Well, what water doesn't have conductive like that's a lie.
So what is the lie? Is it that water doesn't?
It's yeah, the lie. I guess people think that water is very conductive, but in reality, pure water is not conductive. But then they go on to
Shit.
say that,
Yeah, it is.
but they go on to say that the substances found in most water makes them conductive. But like, who's drinking? Like that just feels like a dangerous lie to tell people on BuzzFeed. If I go bathe myself in a bottle of purified water and have lightning strike it, I'm still gonna die. Some of
Actually,
these.
there's a lot of people who survive lightning strikes.
All right.
You get a badass tattoo, apparently.
you mean a scar?
Well, yeah. While
Okay.
Trevor's looking through those. Oh, never mind.
Were you ever told that it's not safe to wake up a sleepwalker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
I've heard that, but I assumed it was bullshit.
I think you guys' parents are fucking assholes.
I didn't hear that from my parents.
Yeah, I heard that.
Also, okay, can we talk? Is sleepwalking real?
Yeah.
I
Do you
used
guys
to do it
know a
all the
sleepwalker?
time. I am.
Okay, I mean, maybe I've never asked anybody, but like,
When
I've
I was a
never even
kid,
seen anybody doing that.
I used to walk out of my house asleep. Like, no bullshit, all the time. But my parents, they woke me up every time because they never told me it's fucking dangerous to wait. What am I going to do? Kill them? My inner chi is disconnected from my body and they might be killing me by waking me up. What's the logic
In
there?
your fucking Chivo mode.
It was out
All
here
right.
astral projected in the front yard.
This this actually led me like to another thought that's in none of these documents, but this is one of the biggest lies I've ever been told, and it's embarrassing as fuck. But I used to be the biggest pussy. That I used to think that I was gonna get fucked up by something at night. I don't know. I was a scaredy cat. So my parents got this bottle of spray and they put a fucking piece of paper with a skeleton and crossbones on it. Told me it was called No Scary Stuff spray. And they used to spray it in my bedroom when I was scared. So when I moved to my new house, they told me that it pre-treated with No Scary Stuff spray. And I believed it.
I mean, it worked, didn't it?
Well, yeah, but then I went on vacation to the beach and I had the worst nightmares. And I was like, it's because you didn't bring your No Scary Stuff spray.
I think my parents just told me that the stuffed animal that I had came to life at night and would fight off anything.
My parents gave me a
Wow.
dream catcher.
We're all
What?
fucking simps.
Wait, what did you say,
Quick,
Carson?
so
And my
Sounds like a
parents
huge
gave me
case of cultural appropriation.
a dream catcher.
Like, oh my god, dude, you're in Florida?
I think I heard it from school and I asked them to get me one. So they got me from like Target.
Oh, shit, dude. I have another Santa story. When I was in preschool, we learned about, like, I forget. It was like Santa from another country, and the kids used to leave their shoes by the door, and then he would, like, put candy in their shoes. Did you guys ever hear that?
Yeah, isn't that like a Spanish thing?
Maybe. But anyway, I had this lesson in preschool, and then, like, I told my mom, but I'm guessing, like, the teachers also were like, oh, by the way, we told this story. On the way home from school, my mom stops at Wawa and buys, like, 6 candy bars. I started freaking out on her. I was like, you're going to put the candy in our shoes. You don't believe that Spanish Santa is going to come put candy in our shoes, blah, blah, blah. I remember my mom just looked at me and she was like, do you want this candy bar or not?
She just hit you to shut the hell up.
And I was like, all right, I want the candy bar. And she was like, all right, then fuck off.
See, I'm glad that you guys got the experience of believing in Mexican Santa or the cool Santa that gave you guys candy because, so obviously, I was never allowed to believe in Santa, but if I had been, my family was pretty Pennsylvania Dutch, like German, and I don't remember the guy's name. This was a segment in The Office where Dwight like dresses up like this guy. But anyways, German Santa doesn't give you things if you're good. It just beats you with a stick if you're bad. So I'm glad you guys got to have candy and present Santa experiences because in my life I didn't get to experience any fucking presents. And if I had been able to celebrate Christmas, I would have just got my shit kicked in for being a piece of shit all year.
Do you guys ever get coal? Is that a real thing?
No, I didn't get.
No.
No, because I wasn't
No,
a
we
piece of
got candy
shit.
bars.
Or you know what was cool though? My parents got me the there's like little Hot Wheels and pieces of coal, like plastic coal, and they filled my stocking with it one year. It was cool as shit. I used to be
Were
really
you
into
bad?
Hot Wheels as a kid.
Yeah, you're probably traumatized for like 10 minutes, though.
No,
I
I
don't,
mean,
I don't see how the plastic
well,
coal and
okay,
Hot
yeah,
Wheels
for like the
connect.
no, because it was little pieces of coal, but it was like hollow coal, and inside the coal there were just a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got you. I thought you were just saying they put both in your stocking. I was like, what?
Oh no, no, I mean, I was like, what the fuck for about a second, and then they said that I could open up the coal, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
All right. I think it's time to tell you guys about some of these Reddit stories. They're a little bit more entertaining.
All right, let's go for it.
All right. So this kid said, when I was a kid, my older sister told me that I was actually a monkey, and every night my parents came into my room and shaved the fur off of me so that I would never realize. I went on believing this for 5 years. When we went to the zoo, we went to the monkey exhibit, and my sister said, "Look, there's your family."
Oh God.
I don't trust myself enough to make a comment about it.
Before
When
you
I was a
continue on
child,
Reddit. Oh, sorry.
no,
I've been
go
like
ahead.
trying to tell this for a little bit. So did your parents ever tell you that if you cracked your knuckles, you would get arthritis?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that was on the BuzzFeed list.
Yeah, my
Well,
parents said that.
they told me
Yeah.
that, but I was like 6. I didn't know what arthritis was, so I thought it was a superpower. And like for the next day, I tried to crack my knuckles as much as I could until they told me to stop.
So the one thing I really have to appreciate about you, Carson, is that you're like the foil to Pat and Diego. Pat and Diego always present themselves as having like superior intelligence as a kid, while you're just like, yeah, I thought arthritis was a superpower until I was like 15.
Wait, what do you mean? I haven't said anything.
Yeah, bro. I don't see why you're coming at me so hard.
Well, the thing with the Santa, he's saying,
Bro,
like
I
when
asked
you
my
said,
mom if Santa was real when I was like 11, not when I was like 5. It was a pretty normal age.
Yeah, there's actually another Reddit post on here that says, "When I was a child, my dad told me that I used to have a tail. He said that he had to cut it off because I kept turning into a giant monkey and started destroying everything during the full moon. He also told me when I got older, he would take me out in the woods and show me my true power."
I don't know if I believe that first one.
Bro,
That's
this
some
is how
like
we end
Dragon
up with
Ball
the
Z
goddamn
thing.
freaks in society.
Wait, this was actually pretty good. This guy said,
Making fairy videos on TikTok now.
This guy said Falling Rock was an old Indian chief. So every time they took a road trip and they passed by "Watch for Falling Rock on Road" sign, they would stop and salute to the Indian chief.
Jesus Christ. That's a good one, though. That is a good one.
I'm trying to find some
I
good
might
ones
use
here.
that. I actually am excited for that part of parenthood, just like being a fucking liar to my kid. Because like that motherfucker will believe what I say, like the gospel.
Someone says, "If I don't sit still during my haircut, the barber will cut my ear off. The worst part was that the barber would play along every time." Does that mean if he didn't still, the barber cut his ear off?
No, he probably like told him he would.
Oh my god, this is dark. This says my mom told me I was handsome. If I misbehave in the car will
That's
be sad.
That was it. My mom told me I was handsome.
That's what that says.
I thought you were
He
gonna
said
keep
that's
going.
no. He said that's the biggest lie he was told as a child.
The silence there just tells you everything you need to know about this group. We have not come to terms with that yet.
and said, I mean, all of our parents said that they loved us. So
I wouldn't say all of our parents said they loved us.
at one point or another, they said it to you.
This one says, "If I misbehave in the car will be sad." Fast forward a year, and I was tearfully telling the car that I'm sorry he has to go, but I'm sure he'll be a cool plane in his next life. What the fuck is wrong with people, dude?
Shit's reincarnating, bro.
Dude, I
Here's
actually
another one about it.
when my
Go ahead.
dad, yeah, my dad used to have this like 1999 Dodge Intrepid. And when he traded that shit in, I sobbed. Like I sat in the back seat and cried. I was maybe like 6 or 7 years old, and I was so sad, man. I get that. I don't know if well, no, I do know. I didn't believe I wasn't that much of a moron where I thought it was gonna be reincarnated into a plane. But I get that to some extent, man. I was sobbing over that thing.
My dad
I
used
was,
to
I was
surprise us
cried
with
when the
new trucks.
Taurus
It was
went
pretty
away.
cool. Like he'd just show up out of nowhere with a new truck.
Sign of good financial decisions. Hooking up with that.
Dude,
I
here's
mean,
another
nah,
one
like
about
it was
it.
always planned. He just surprised me and my brother with, like, one day you just drive up with it and be like, "Yo, guys, look at the new whip."
There's another one about a car. If you guys are still stuck on cars, this guy
Yeah, but
said that
I'm always on cars.
he would ask his
Okay.
dad if they could go to McDonald's, and his
I've
dad
heard
would
this one
say
actually.
he would say no, we can't turn into McDonald's. But then he would turn it anyway, and he would say, "I'm not doing this. The car is doing it itself." So he thought his car was the coolest motherfucker on the planet.
That shit was on all the TikToks of the Subway Surfers reading a Reddit post.
I tried to ditch my autistic son in the Delaware River. Came right after on those
Oh
posts.
god. That one's so bad.
This one
You
says
got any more, Trevor?
I
Okay.
grew up in Atlanta watching the Braves, and my brother told me at the end of the national anthem, they would say the home of the local baseball team. So when I went to a game in New York, I sang at the top of my lungs, and the home of the Yankees.
Still not wrong. Not wrong.
Dude, kids are fucking idiots. He says the Kansas City Chiefs still do that. The whole stadium says the home of the Chiefs. That
Oh
one
god.
makes kind of makes sense. Oh
Do you
wait,
guys
this
remember in college at the Penn State games when it would be like, uh, "Oh, does that Star Spangled Banner yet wave?" Do you remember how everybody would like yell like, "Oh," right before that, like right before that verse started?
Shit was mad disrespectful.
It
Yeah.
was very disrespectful. But I'll tell you what, every baseball game I go to, like I went to this baseball game with a bunch of work guys, like me and maybe like five, and I was like the lowest ranking person there, right? So it was like me and like five senior managers around me. We're standing there during the national anthem, and I'm just it gets to that part, and I'm like, oh, nobody else says it because I don't know, it's just stuck in my head after that. I feel like I need to do it now at every sporting event I go to, and yeah, it's very disrespectful, but you know.
this one says grandma died of cancer. No, she didn't. She stepped in front of a train after she found out she had cancer.
Was that more comforting?
I
Was
mean,
it supposed to be?
cancer did kind of get her.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, but this one says if you unscrew your belly button, your ass falls off.
I wish
I would
that was
imagine your
true.
guts come out.
Bro, motherfucker got it locked in place.
My mom managed to convince me and my brother that Ferrero Rocher didn't taste nice and that we wouldn't like them. Bro, that's the worst. Shut the
My mom
fuck
told me
up.
that too. What the
Yeah, my
Yes.
parents
She just
told me that.
she didn't want me to eat hers. She was like, "Yeah, it's a really strong chocolate flavor. I don't think you'd like it." Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know if it was just with you guys too, but when I was a kid, I was such an asshole when my parents would go out to eat because we barely went out. But sometimes my mom and dad would go out, just them two. I would get up early and eat the leftovers the next day.
It's such a fucking you thing to do.
Like I remember one time they went out to Ruth's Chris, and if you guys don't know what that is, that's like a really expensive steakhouse. And I got
There's
up
one of
early
those
the
across the
next day.
street from where I work. They're all over
What?
the place. Yeah, there's one of those right across the street from where I work. They're all over the place.
Don't worry, Carson. I'd never heard of it.
Oh, it's really good, but it's expensive. I think they spent like over $100 on a meal for both of them. But yeah, I got up early the next day and just ate the steak out of the thing. So they started telling me I wouldn't like anything they brought home.
My parents or my mom in high school was like, "Yeah, you probably wouldn't like the taste," but that was a
What?
lie. She said I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
like the
didn't hear
taste
you.
of beer. I might have cut out there.
Oh, when
I
I
mean, it's
first
kind of
had beer, though, I hated beer the first time.
that
I
shit
just
was
did.
ass, and
Yeah, I just did it to fit in with you guys, and now I'm an alcoholic. So
but then
what did that get me?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends what the brand is you try. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, like that one beer we got when I turned 21. That one was kind of bad, but
What, that one the Sheets clerk
Yeah,
had never heard of?
yeah. We
the
take
Guinness
we
Stout,
take
whatever.
we take Diego to the Sheets Beer Cave for his at midnight on his 21st birthday. He goes in, picks out the weirdest fucking beers, some Guinness Stout, which is not that weird, but like from a gas station. He takes it up to the cashier. The lady looks at it and goes, "Huh, I didn't think we sold this."
I want to alienate any of our Irish viewers, but Guinness kind of sucks.
Bro, Guinness is amazing.
I'm not a big
Nah.
Guinness fan.
I've never liked it. There was
You ever had
one
an
like
Irish
there was one like
carbon?
coffee type thing I tried that was pretty good, but like the normal one, no thanks.
Yeah, remember that like chocolate beer that
The
Carson
chocolate
swears by?
porter.
Bro, that
From-
chocolate
Yingling?
porter is good.
The Hershey
he bought
Yingling.
he bought like
Bro.
5 cases.
Dude, the chocolate porter. My family did like a gift exchange for Christmas 2020, I want to say. And my cousin got me 224 packs, and I still have some just because like it's a good beer, but it's like you're never really in the mood for it. Like it's kind of heavy and everything, you know. Like it's definitely not a daily beer.
Yeah, it's one of those
That's
beers
good.
that ends your night up off. End your night on.
Like a dessert beer.
Yeah.
How about maybe one more lie here?
One more lie, let's call it.
Yes, sir.
A guy a couple years below me in high school had the worst. He was born with a heart issue. Don't remember what it was. So he was unable to have too much exertion in his heart. Permanently excused from participating in gym. Couldn't run outside at recess playing football or anything. And he was never going to be able to have sex or even too heavy of a makeout session his entire life. Halfway through high school, he found out that his heart problem was resolved when he was a toddler, and his parents lied to him his whole life just to keep him from having sex until they felt he was old enough. And then they would say something like, "Hey, our wedding gift to you is this. You can have sex. We were lying to you the whole time."
So it's kind of like those stories where like the mom was keeping like the kids sick in order to like feel good about taking care of
Oh,
them.
are you talking about the one where they gave, like, she literally gave her kids, like, horse tranquilizers or something?
What?
Yeah, I heard about that.
They did, like,
Bro,
a movie or a
personally,
documentary on it.
I would not have taken that shit lightly if like I couldn't grow up playing sports or like
No,
I would have
dude,
like
that's, if I
I
could,
like disowned my
yeah.
parents. I mean, you know, the making out with girls thing that wouldn't have been a huge obstacle for me, but like, you know, the sports, yeah, no, that's crossing a line.
Oh, and then, like, I didn't play football because I just didn't, and I regret it because I was just a lazy fucker. Like, imagine if you never played football because your parents told you that you could not.
Or even like just played capture the flag or tag at recess. I mean, that's even outside of organized sports, just like core memories
Bro,
that
the
everybody
fucking the
did.
dudes who didn't play a game of some kind, like not even like an organized sport, but like the motherfuckers who weren't running around, they're in jail now. And like
Yeah.
there's a reason for that.
That's brutal. It's always those moms that like want to date their sons. Do you know this? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly
It,
what you're saying.
it's so weird. They're the female equivalent of the dads who always joke about like having a gun when their daughter starts dating. The female equivalent is
I feel like this
the
equivalent
moms
is the
who
one that
want to
actually
date.
does have a gun though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's brutal. Man, okay, you know what? I had a great childhood compared to that. The one, okay, I want to throw. I know that we said that was going to be the last one. I want to throw one in that my parents told me. I used to. I don't know if I did it a lot or what, but did your parents ever tell you that if you crossed your eyes, that it would
It would
stay that
stay
way?
that way. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
My brother could do the thing. I don't know if he still can, but like
Is it
where
when you
one of
flip
his
your eye up?
no, where like
Oh, I could do that.
one of his pupils would be staring straight ahead and like the other one would move. Like, you know, like one would be looking off to the right, so like his eyes would be like off center. He could do that manually. And my parents used to tell him like, yo, you're gonna like go blind doing that just because they wanted him to stop doing it.
If you can do some cool shit like that, I'm gonna encourage them. Like, I can't imagine shutting that down. It's cool as shit.
All right, boys, we good? Everybody
Yeah,
get their closing
Yeah,
remarks
I
in?
think so.
yeah. No, that was a great podcast, fellas, and thank
I'm
you
just
to
gonna
everyone
say,
for listening.
If there's any parents listening to this podcast, go tell your
Lie to
kids
your
they
kids.
are
It's cool.
obese. All right, that works
Except
too.
that last one.
Yeah, practice point from the podcast. Don't tell your kids they have heart disease. That's a good point, Trevor. If you're
It's a
going to
bunch
take
of
away
motherfuckers
anything,
who are in their early 20s with no kids. Let us give you parenting advice.
yeah, we know what we're talking about. Trust us.
I have a dog, so
Source, trust me, bro.
Source, the cool dictator of El Salvador.
see you
Can I
guys
just
next week.
Can I go ahead and put a bow on this and say that we're going to be calling this the ChivoCast?
I think we'll put it to debate, but
We'll workshop that, but that'll definitely be out there.
all right.
Yeah, I vote for
objective for next cast is to have a name for the cast. So, maybe we'll have a name when we upload this, but you know where to find us.
We won't, but talk to y'all next time.
See you guys next week.
See you next week.
You guys.
Boys.